This is classification of electric heating. We studied in previous lecture. Now we are going to study power frequency heating method. Almost 50 to 60 Hz its frequency. Now we are going to study at the first point resistance heating. There is two type. In resistance heating there is a direct heating and indirect resistance heating. So first of all, what is the resistance heating? Most probably the example of resistance heating is electric water heater. This method is based upon the I square R losses. Whenever current is passed through a resistor, a material heat is produced because of I square R losses. The generation of heat is done by electric resistor carrying current. The heating elements, the feature of heating element: high resistivity, able to withstand high temperature without distortion, low temperature coefficient of resistance, positive temperature coefficient of resistance, free from oxidation at high temperatures. The difference between a direct resistance heating and indirect resistance heating. We study a different 2 to 3 points regarding both heating method. In first direct resistance heating method, electric current is passed through the body, a charge to be heated. Charge means a heating material with mixed with some resistance elements. It's in the form of powder or solid. High efficiency, its example electrode boiler for heating water and resistance welding. In indirect heating, electric current is passed through highly resistive material, you can say heating element, placed inside an oven. It not our material to be heated, it placed near to them. Heat produced due to I square R loss in the element is transmitted to the body. Mode of heat transfer is maybe in conduction or convection or radiation. Example: room heaters, domestic and commercial cooking methods, heat treatment of metals. This is the figure of direct resistance heating. In that there is a two electrode are connected with supply. One is called anode and another is electrode. The supply is given to both electrode and they are one chamber like furnace. Electrode and our charge is inside the furnace. A charge in the form of powder or solid. Charge become from the heat elements and some element added to resistivity will increase. So high resistance powder and our heat element produce a charge. The supply is given to that electrode. Current pass from anode to cathode through the charge. Now this is the example of direct resistance heating. In that electrode directly connected to charge, the current pass through electrode and charge and circuit is completed. Now the next point is indirect resistance heating. In this there is a difference. Electrode are not connected to charge, so this is the method we call that indirect resistance heating method. Charge and electrode are separated, so heat transfer may be convection or radiation. In this, the both electrode and supply, the supply given to both electrode and circuit is complete to anode, cathode and our battery, and the charge is placed near to this both heating elements. So in this method, a jacket is in the form of cylinder. In that we put our charge and current pass through electrode. In this method, the heat produced from heating element and heat transferred through convection or radiation method. The cause of failure of heating elements. Sometimes the failure is coming in this method. In both method we check the which type of faults occurs in this heating method. The formation of hotspot, sometimes due to high temperature some hotspot are created. Oxidation and corrosion, so some metal elements of electrode due to the charge and powder, it may produce corrosion. And the last option is mechanical failure, sometimes due to mechanical hazard it may be occurs in this causes of failure of heating element. Now next point is dielectric heating. This is the high frequency heating. Power frequency is resistance and arc. This is the topic from high frequency heating. The dielectric material is put between two metal electrodes and high frequency AC supply is given to that. So the positive and negative elements will separate, the charge will be separate and the high heat is produced. So this is the figure of dielectric heating. Wasted energy appear as heat called dielectric loss. The non-metallic material with poor thermal conductivity can be very effectively heated by dielectric heating. Dielectric loss is proportional to frequency and square of the supply voltage. Frequency can be selected between 10 to 30 kilohertz. When a solid dielectric material, insulating material, is subjected to an alternating electric field, it is not supposed to carry any current. However, in practice, some leakage current pass through it and power loss is take place. This loss is called as dielectric loss and result into heating of dielectric material. So whenever the dielectric loss is produced, so we can in that the dielectrical material put between two metal electrodes and high frequency supply is given to that. So dielectric loss is produced and ultimate the heating of dielectric material is conducted. The application of dielectric heating: plywood industry, sand core baking, plastic industry, tobacco industry, bakeries, electronic savings, dehydration of food, electromedical applications, book binding. This is the application of dielectric heat. Next, after the application of dielectric heating, we will see the advantage of dielectric heating. There are so many advantages in dielectric heating. The first heating is very quick. The operation is very fast. You can start and stop anytime. Second, the efficiency is very higher. This is the main impact of utilization of electrical energy. In that, the efficiency is very high. Heating is uniform. Whatever we put between two plates, the heat is uniform. Being free from smoke, dust, process is very clean. There is no smoke and dust generated through these heating methods. There are no flue gases, no risk of pollution. Natural or burning of wood or other boilers and furnace, they produce gases, smoke, dust, and so many pollution. It hazard the total environment. So this method will not generate any smoke, dust, and very clean process. Quickly in operation, efficiency is very high. The last one is it is produced due to dielectric loss occurs in the material itself. The property of dielectrical material will not pass the current, so the dielectric loss is itself it produce its heat. So now the remaining portion in the dielectric heating. After dielectric heating, we will study the arc heating in the next lecture.